Picture it. You're about to start your day, you're excited and ready to get in the groove and get some CEO work done. Outreach, sales tracking, reviewing KPIs. You open your laptop and suddenly you hear, nope, it's not clients, it's your team. Wait a second. I thought once you built an agency, you'd get out of the client work and finally have space for the other things that make your business run. Not unless you've built a team of decision makers, and today I'm going to show you how to do it. Hey there, I'm Tasha Booth, coach to online agency owners like you, and today I'm going to show you how to build a team that doesn't need you for every little decision. Do you ever feel like when you created your agency, you traded one problem for another? It used to be that you were inundated with client work all day long. And now you've got a constant stream of team members pinging you for questions and for input. And it might seem that no matter what you do, you just can't seem to get out of being in the middle of it all. That was 100% me in my agency until I learned how to create a self-led team. A team that trusts themselves and their expertise enough to know that they got it. They don't come to me for every little thing anymore. And when I was able to finally build a team like this, that's when my Slack messages got much quieter and I was able to actually get my CEO level work done. I was able to build the business of my dreams and sometimes even disconnect in the middle of the day for lunch with my husband or to get my nails done. So, how exactly do we do this? How do we get from here, a team who depends on you for everything, to there, a team who trusts themselves and steps up as true leaders in your agency? We first need to identify the cause of the problem. Often, we as agency owners have unintentionally created the dependency by holding the reins for far too long. Now, yes, when a team member is in their first 90 days of working within our agency, they need more oversight and more feedback. But once we know that they got it, we need to let them go and let them be great. But often, we've created this dependence by doing the following: requiring team to send everything to you for approval before it gets sent to clients, hopping in on client emails or Slack messages and answering them immediately instead of allowing your team to answer and show their expertise, solving every problem the team member brings to you instead of first asking for their potential solutions. Are you guilty of any of this? I know it's so hard to get out of this cycle because you want to ensure quality work. But remember, this is why you've taken the time to hire and onboard excellent team members so that you don't have to micromanage and so that you can trust them to do what they've been hired to do. If you're stuck on the hiring great people step, then definitely check out my free download with 10 agency-specific questions for hiring. It'll help you look for red and green flags that signal autonomy and decision-making abilities. The primary reason that our team members are coming to us for every little thing is because they don't want to get it wrong, and that's understandable. So implementing a clear decision-making framework helps your team know what you trust them to handle themselves and when a decision or a situation needs to be escalated to you or a member of your leadership team if you have one. We can break this down into 3 types of decisions. 1, independent decisions, 2, consult decisions, and 3, authority decisions. Independent decisions are ones your team members can completely handle on their own. Things like scheduling client calls, responding to client questions, making edits to deliverables. These types of decisions are about 70 to 80% of the overall decisions happening within your agency. I finally got out of having to answer every client question when I started leading from the back. I'd still be included in client and team Slack channels so that I could see the communications, but instead of immediately answering the client, I'd send a private message to the team member, giving them suggestions on how to respond. I'd also ask the team member things like, well, what do you think? Or what are the options you see available? That gave the team member confidence in responding and allowed the client to see the team member as an authority figure with expertise of their own. Decision type number 2 is consult decisions. These are decisions where the team member should gather information, make a recommendation, but check with you or a member of your leadership team before implementing. Examples of these are changes to project timelines or changes to scope of work, or when a client is upset for whatever reason. These are about 15 to 20% of the decisions happening in your agency. Tackling these types of decisions should happen on maybe something like a weekly team check-in call or in Slack updates if needed, or maybe even a one-on-one Zoom meeting for support. And then we have authority decisions. These are decisions that only you or the members of your leadership team should be making. These include things like pricing changes, taking on new clients, strategic pivots, or releasing clients. These types of decisions are few and far between. When escalating which type of decision goes where, a good rule of thumb is to ask yourself which decisions you're keeping because of control versus because of true strategic necessity. Another strategy that has been helpful is creating a when and where to reach me document. You can include this in something like your team onboarding welcome packet. And like its name suggests, it's an opportunity to let your team know what types of decisions require your input and what types of decisions do not, as well as what communication channel to use for different levels of urgency. For example, when I'm away on vacation, let's say, my team knows to contact me only via the Tasha SOS channel, which we have set up in Slack. This way, I know that even if all of the other Slack channels are lit up with the team and client communications or conversations, I'm only needed if the SOS channel is lit up. It is an amazing thing. In the when and where to reach me document, you can also include info on what constitutes an emergency. I like to remind my team that we are not brain surgeons, and there are very few and far between online business emergencies. However, if a client is actively in launch and their cart maybe has an emergency where their sales page is broken or their payment processor went down, that would be an example of an emergency that might require my attention. Lastly, I want to talk about fostering a culture that celebrates autonomy. Like I said earlier, your team doesn't want to make mistakes. They don't want to disappoint you or for you to be angry at them. So it's important that through your words and your actions, you remind them that making mistakes along the way is okay and a natural part of learning. Now, yes, it's important that we own our mistakes and take steps to correct them, but that's also part of the process of being a self-led and autonomous member of the team. So when a team member makes a mistake, I ask them to walk me through what happened, how they intend to fix it, and what they intend to do moving forward so that it's less likely to happen again. Now, notice in this, all of that, the ball was in their court. I'm not fixing the problem for them. While this is really hard for me to do and for you to do at first, it's also a critical part of demonstrating to your team that you trust them. Building an autonomous team takes time, but once it happens, it's like the heavens have opened up and started singing. And trust me, your team members will appreciate knowing that they're not being micromanaged and that you truly trust them to be the experts that they are. So remember, ask more questions than you answer so your team members can get used to thinking for themselves, both strategically and in problem solving. Lead from the back and let your clients see that your team members are experts in their own right. Create clear decision-making frameworks so that your team knows what they can handle and what should be escalated to you or a member of your leadership team. Set clear boundaries around communication whens and wheres. And foster a company culture that celebrates autonomy in decision-making. If you want more tips like these, subscribe to my channel and don't forget to download my 10 agency-specific question templates that's designed to help you solve your hiring hiccups in as little as 15 minutes of interview prep time. See you soon.